Good morning, beautiful people. Welcome to the sports segment of the weekend show. I am Ayo Adams, and I'll be walking you through the happenings in the world of sports, in the world of football. The Euro 2020, Ronaldo breaking the record, and the Wimbledon is about to start next week. So let's get started. The Super Falcons rounded up their summer series tournament in Austin, Texas, while they played the USA women, and they lost 2-0. Goals scored by Christian Press and Lynn Williams. Well, the summer series invitational tournament has been going on for long, and Nigeria has played 3 games. Well, they've not won any one of the 3 games. The last game they played was against USA, and they lost 2-0. The second game was against Portugal with a 6-goal thriller where they played 3-3. And in the first game of the summer series tournament, they played Jamaica, and they lost 1 goal. So they've played 3 games. They've conceded 6 goals, and they've only scored 3. So, and that's the update for the Super Falcons in the Invitational Summer Series that happened in Austin, Texas. And now we move to one of the global tournament that has been happening, which is the Euro 2020, which kicked off in Rome in 11 cities. This tournament is going to be played around 11 cities to commemorate the 60 years anniversary of the championship. The opening day saw Italy defeat the Turks 3-0. And so far in this tournament, 45 goals have been scored and 3 teams have qualified. We've seen blockbuster goals in the tournament. We've seen goals, long-range goals. We've seen goals from half field. We've seen penalties. We've seen lots and lots of yellow cards and red cards, and we've seen dramatic experiences. We've also seen a shocking experience which saw Christian Eriksen collapse in their opening game against Finland. Well, with me to discuss the Euro 2020 update is Tuebi Egbuson from 3 in a Row podcast. Tuebi, good morning.
Good morning, Ayo.
How do you feel to be here today?
It's a pleasure.
All right, then. So let's move to the first one. We have Netherlands, who have qualified for the next round. And if you can remember, Netherlands, they didn't qualify for the last championship. They didn't qualify for the World Cup, the Euros one. And now, just their first 2 games, they've qualified to the next round. How do you see Netherlands go so far in this tournament?
Well, so far, they're proving to be the dark horse team. They've took time to get back into their winning ways. Netherlands has always been known as a powerhouse in Europe, but in recent memory, it hasn't been so. Yeah. But it seems like they're going to be the dark horse amongst the 3 teams that have qualified thus far.
All right, then. And the Netherlands team in Group C won their second game as they beat Austria 2-0. But that time at Memphis, they put a goal pass and was a penalty before Denzel Dumfries scored that tap-in in the closing minutes of the game. And we move on to the next team who was qualified in the Euros, which is Belgium. The number 1 ranked team in the world, Belgium, have qualified into the next round. And in the opening game of the tournament, they played Russia, where they won the game 3-0, with Romelu Lukaku getting 2 goals and Mounier getting the 3rd one. Well, in the second game, it was a much tougher game, as Yusuf Poulsen of Denmark got the first goal in the 2nd minute before Belgium introduced the starman Kevin De Bruyne, and he turned the game around, having a hand in the equalizer goal with Torgan Hazard before he sealed it off with a trashing left foot strike in the 70th minute of the game. How good was De Bruyne, Tuebi?
De Bruyne keeps on proving with each touch and every minute he plays that he's the best midfielder in the world right now. And it was evident in the match the other day. He came off the bench, made such an impact, and I have to say he's such a class act, as they could have had wild celebrations, but out of respect to Christian Eriksen and Denmark, he decided to, have a more sober celebration.
All right, then, and we see Belgium have moved into the next round. And now the 3rd team who has also qualified into the next round is Italy. Italy, the Azuris, have not conceded any goal in 10 games. They've scored 6 unreplied goals so far in this tournament, and they've not conceded any goals since October 2020, when they played Holland in the UEFA Nations League. Tuebi, Italy, they've been speaking about their team unity. They've been speaking about how they are a collective unit. And we've seen the likes of Locatelli, Barella, Spinazzola, they've all shown up. And even building up to the tournament, I actually did not expect to see the pairing between Bonucci and Chiellini. But after the first game, I saw that it was more of an experienced decision from Mancini. How far do you think Italy would go?
Italy looks like they just might go all the way. Like you mentioned, their unity. You need to watch them when they're singing the national anthem.
Yeah, they're wild.
They're wild, like lions, going to war. They've been very impressive all round. Everybody's playing well, and most importantly, their top goal scorer in Serie A, Ciro Immobile, he's scoring goals as well, which is very important. I believe they'll go far, but it'd be interesting to see them against tougher opposition, I would say. Their defense is solid, but I'm not so sure they might be able to pull off as many goals against tougher
Exactly.
opposition.
Now, that's one thing I want to point out. While watching their game, watching the last game that they played when they won 3-0, it took Ciro Immobile at least 5 opportunities before he could get one goal at the back of the net. And it was Locatelli and Barella calling the shots from the midfield.
Exactly.
Now, Verratti might be coming back. Would you say that they should introduce Verratti back into the lineup? And if they introduce Verratti back into the lineup, who sits, Barella or Locatelli?
I wouldn't say they should rush Verratti into the lineup. Everything is working so well. There's no point changing a winning formula. He's been unfit, unfortunately, but they have to go with what's been working for them unless it's not working. So I believe we'll see Verratti as a substitute, not a starter. You know.
All right, then. Now moving on to one of the most expected games in the world, and you know how the paparazzis are around England, how the English press hype their players and their champions and their starlets. I mean, imagine after the first game against Croatia, Calvin Phillips of Leeds United was being compared to the AC Milan midfield. I mean, he was really good on that day, but being compared to the maestro midfield of AC Milan, that was way too much to go. But then it was sad to their eyes yesterday when they played 0-0 against Scotland with Billy Gilmour, the young starlet from Chelsea, starring in that game. And starman Harry Kane was nowhere to be found. Tuebi, England, it's coming home, it's coming home, it's coming home. Let's see the second game. Now we've seen the second game, and we all know that England still has a lot to do if they want to be contenders in this championship. Can they go all the way?
Thoroughly underwhelming. I think England is going to bottle yet again. I believe Gareth Southgate left out some key names, one being Jadon Sancho. You know, his goal contributions are really high. And I feel it just goes to show Luka Modric's comments about the English press, you know, and how they like to hype players up. Even Owen Hargreaves, at his time in Bayern Munich, many times reporters always used to suggest that he wasn't good enough. And he was like, you guys are not doing your job. You're not watching the Bundesliga. They just believe if it's their league, it's the best. And perhaps maybe that's why Sancho was left out. We'll never know.
All right, then. Well, we'll wait to see how England pans out in their final game of the group stages. And then moving on to one of the most exciting things that's happened so far in the Euros, where some of the top players in Euro, namely Cristiano Ronaldo, Paul Pogba, and Locatelli, 3 of those players removed sponsored products from the table. Ronaldo removed a bottle of Coke, and he chucked up a bottle of water and saying that you guys should drink more water. Well, that cost Coca-Cola $4 billion in shares. And Paul Pogba, on the other hand, removed the bottle of beer, which is the Heineken 0.0. And to be noted that Heineken 0.0 is not an alcoholic drink. Well, Paul Pogba removed it, and well, it did not go the way Cristiano Ronaldo's own went, because Heineken actually had spikes in their sales. Locatelli also did the same thing that Ronaldo did, chugging off away the bottle of Coke. Well, coming off after was Andrei Yarmolenko, who did the same thing. So they turned it into quite a joke. Before, the final one who made everyone laugh was the Russian coach, who actually opened the bottle of Coke and he drank it. Well, since then, Martin Kallen, who is the tournament coordinator, has said that UEFA has communicated their stance to the teams and the players that they should not touch any bottle or any product of the sponsors of the competition. And moving on to talking about Cristiano Ronaldo, who has now become the top scorer, the all-time top scorer in the Euro Championship, edging past Michel Platini, who had 9 goals. Ronaldo scored 2 goals in the 3-0 win against Hungary in the opener in the final closing minutes of the game. The second goal was a joy to watch. While Cristiano Ronaldo now has 2 goals in the tournament with 11 goals all round. Michel Platini, who's now in second place, dethroned by Ronaldo, that has 9. Alan Shearer has 7, and Antoine Griezmann has 6. While so far in this tournament, Patrick Schick is still the top scorer from Czech Republic with 3 goals. Tuebi, Ronaldo.
Cristiano Ronaldo. What a guy. He keeps on looking for records to break on and off the pitch. The other day, he just broke the 300 million followers record on Instagram. And you can see his impact. You know, Coca-Cola lost, what, $4 billion in their value. In fact, I even saw a picture over the weekend. Coca-Cola is now selling their bottles strapped with water. That's the Cristiano Ronaldo effect, if you ask me. We hope to see him break more records, extend his tally, and possibly match or beat Ali Day's all-time international goal scoring record. I think that's little for Ronaldo to do. Yeah. Do you think he's going to win the tournament's top scorer? I'm not sure. You know, he's 36. You know, he's showing us every day, but I feel the group he's in, the opposition he has to face today, he's playing Germany, you know, it might be a factor towards him finishing as a top scorer. So let's just see.
All right then. Moving on to some of the most shocking news that happened in the Euro 2020 was Denmark's opener game against Finland, where Christian Eriksen collapsed, and it was a shock around the world of football and around the world of sports. Everyone was in hell and shock. But then some things happened. Center referee Anthony Taylor, within 5 seconds, had already stopped the game, and the medical team were already there in split seconds. But one of the most important and one of the most bravo acts we saw were the Danish teammates who surrounded Christian Eriksen, making sure that the media and the press did not get pictures. And you could see all of them, the screen up, you see it up on your screen, you could see all of them holding hands together, and some of them, Christian Eriksen from Chelsea, Christensen from Chelsea covered his face, and he was just shocked and crying. And well, the most important part of it was Simon Kjær, the captain, who made this all happen. How shocking was that to you as a football fan? It
was unbelievable to watch. I was actually surprised that the cameramen were giving such leeway to show us such shocking scenes. You could see the way he collapsed that there was definitely something wrong. Unbothered, nobody touching him. But kudos to all the parties that played a role. Kasper Schmeichel for consoling his wife, letting her know everything will be okay, and the Danish players for surrounding him in order to block out the horrific scenes. And as you said, Simon Kjær for starting the resuscitation processes. And of course, Anthony Taylor for picking it up on such quick notice. All
right then. Well, Christian Eriksen has been discharged from the hospital yesterday night and he's looking in good shape, but we don't know. There are rumors saying that he might not play football anymore. And one of the words that came out of his mouth when he woke up was, "Wow, I'm still 29." Well, we'll see how that pans out with the Danish team. And moving on to yesterday, the Euro 2020 games were played yesterday, and we had Sweden, who played 1-0 against Slovakia, Croatia played 1-1 against Czech Republic, and England, the most anticipated game, ended in a 0-0 draw. Well, the fixtures happening this weekend are coming up on your screen, which is happening in Group F. We have Hungary facing France by 2 p.m., and Germany playing Portugal. That will be a delight game to watch. And Spain looking for their first goal and first win in the tournament against Robert Lewandowski's side, Poland, who lost their first game 2-1. Would wait to see how that happens 8 p.m. Tuebi, what's your prediction for Germany-Portugal?
Germany-Portugal. Obviously, I'm a bit biased towards Portugal. you know I'm a Real Madrid fan, a Cristiano Ronaldo fan. But I will go with a draw. All right then. And then match day 3 kicks off on Sunday with Italy taking on Wales and Switzerland taking on Turkey. Well, in one of the most inspiring and one of the most daring news to ever seen, you see a legend leave football. When a legend leaves football, football fans, they cry, football fans, they shout, football fans, they pout. Well, Sergio Ramos is leaving Real Madrid after 16 years, playing 671 games, scoring 101 goals, 4 Champions League, 5 La Liga, 4 Spanish Super Cup, 2 Copa del Rey, 2 Club World Cups, 3 UEFA Super Cup. So, AB, please don't shed a tear. But how do you see this? What do you feel? First of all, how do you feel that Ramos is leaving? And second, how do you think Madrid will fare after Ramos is gone? Well, I'm very upset that Ramos is leaving. Disgusted that Florentino Perez and the board would treat him as such. But this isn't new. I'm a Real Madrid fan. We don't treat our legends well. You know, the club is bigger than everyone. That's one point that they like to make clear. Sergio Ramos played the long game with Real Madrid and lost. Unfortunately, that's the end. Real Madrid without Ramos will be interesting to see. I know Eden Militao has come good. It doesn't look like Rafael Varane is going to stay. Alaba has come in, but Alaba is such a versatile player. He plays on the wing backs. He can play in the midfield. I don't know. We have injury problems in the team usually these days, and Ramos is irreplaceable. He's the greatest captain of all time. He's irreplaceable. We'll definitely envisage problems.
All right then. Well, for Barcelona fans, I'm a Barcelona fan, and you can see the smiles up all on my face that Sergio Ramos will be leaving Real Madrid, and we will not have that clash happen between him and Messi in the Clasico. Well, moving on into another sport, which is the tennis. The clay season is over and the grass season is upon us, as the Wimbledon will be starting on 28th of June till 11th of July. While two-time Wimbledon champion Rafael Nadal has said he's not going to participate in the championship, and he will also not participate in the Olympics. And remember, Rafael Nadal is the only tennis player who has won an Olympic medal. He says his decision is because he wants to play longer in his career, so he wants to take time to rest. His older counterpart, the female side, which is Naomi Osaka, the 4-time Grand Slam champion, has also said she would not be playing in the Wimbledon in preparation for the Tokyo Olympics. Well, reasons that she cited was for personal health reasons. Well, we'll wait to see Naomi Osaka bounce back in the Tokyo Olympics coming up. Well, that's all I have for you on the sports segment of the weekend show. My name is Ayo Adams. You can follow me on my Instagram at Ayo Adams, SS. You can also follow us on our page on Instagram, The Weekend Show _NG. You can drop your comments and likes under there. And Tuebi, thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you. It's
been
been
good
pleasure.
to have you back once more.
Yes.
All right then. Well, stay tuned to The Weekend Show. There is more. See you next week. Bye-bye.